So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of I Do What I Do When I Do What I Do. Today I'm going to show you a different project. It's a side project, could maybe turn into a major project. What you see right now is I built a new world. Right now we are in the realistic render engine. Everything you see, everything is designed and textured. Everything you see visually I did by myself until this point in time. And this includes the car. By the way, there is an animation where I introduced this car. This is my strongest work so far. In a fun 3-minute animation. You can see that on black. Wait, this is the thumbnail on my Project Lara channel. Yeah, Project Lara Blender channel. You can find this on this channel. Yeah. I mean, check it out, it's cool. I'm using there a different render engine. Anyway, I have something interesting for you. So while I'm building here everything myself, I learn also about how games are made in some way. So this car, as it stands here, needs to be, if I would like to use that in a game render engine, I would need to change certain things. Like, for example, the density of the geometry is way too high. So what you would do is, well, I'm going to show you. I have here some assets. I made them myself all, but I'm bad with organizing. This one is a great example. So you can see when I zoom in on this guy here, you can see that it has actually some details here, right? And I can show you how they do that in Cyberpunk and so on. Basically, that's interesting. I thought for you, it's a bit gaming related since I'm not playing much games, but I tried 2 days ago. I recorded the session of Silent Hill 4, Silent Hill 4, the room, but the tone wasn't sound here. You can see the details just disappeared, right? And that's a technique called baking the normals onto objects, and it basically generates like a fake 3D information. I'm going to show this again. This is without, and this is within, and this is also, this tire is very I have to turn this off here. Where is it? Here we go. So it's a little bit cleaner. So you see every point is basically an information, right? The more points the object has, the more dense it becomes, So you could have an object like when I subdivide it, like for example, that's also more like the first version. So what you do when you create tires, for example, you will end up, depending on your method, with a high density of points, which is called vertices, and you try always for game engines to minimize the vertices, the density of those points. I do not know. Because I've never, I did, the apartment raiser on this channel you can see, but I also tried the Godot engine a bit, and I'm not a game developer, but it seems to be the fact, or it's pretty obvious that this is not such a big deal anymore. At least this is how I perceive that, because overall the technique is more powerful. So meaning the density of the points isn't a big problem anymore, or so much as it was, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, or even 20 years ago. Back then it was a big deal, but now it's easier. What is a problem is also, I think game engines can handle stuff when, a high density of points easily, when it's not moving. But as soon as you move it, as soon as you try to bend it, then the performance will break down. I can give you an example. Something I wanted to introduce you also is oh, you know what, I can just use this guy. I'm just gonna copy that guy and go into a new environment. The same principle, I'm currently thinking about the method how. So this is again the car. So right now when I manipulate it, when I stretch parts of the tire, right, that works fine. But let's now subdivide that. Let's give it more density. It would make sense that I do this like this, in this way, but sometimes you have the final product is like that, and then you have to decrease the density. Now you can see there are lots of points. Let's do the same task again. And that still works, but because of my system is kind of good, I'm gonna do the subdividers more, and subdividing is already harder. So now it slows down. Now when I try to move, you could see the difference. And that's why density matters for gaming when you want to do that. So it's much harder. And you have, depending again on the method you're using, more density. Where there is one thing where you have to do this when you, for example, I have a character which I'm gonna show you. Yesterday I forgot about this guy. Hans Dampf, I called him, and he's my son. Let me show you my son to you. Hans Dampf, here we go. Because I create new overlays. Here we go. Hans Dampf. This is this guy. So this one I sculpted, and when you sculpt stuff, those guys have a high density. That's because of the sculpting. Sculpting is like really like the real sculpting a bit. You know, see, it's lots of points which allow you to change and to sculpt a figure first, and then you have to retopology, use a method to wrap this guy into a bunch of, you can see it like in a blanket again, completely covered, or cover it with sometimes yeah. Well, you have to get rid of the density just to and for that you would redo the whole figure, and then you will bake the information onto that, which is a different part. Anyway, so yeah, I thought I'm gonna just show you this one here, because it's stuff I'm you know, I have plenty of little projects, and I always think I'm gonna show them sometimes, but I never do. In fact, I forget about some things. Because I almost think it's not always important, but anyway. So this was a little bit game related with the tire. I thought that might be interesting. The reason why I discovered it is basically, you know, I have new overlays, which you can see in the other video. This one is an overlay. It's for gaming. What I tried to say. I just show you my stuff here. Anyway, but yesterday I was looking for characters. I wanted to make an pixely character for pixely games, and not this guy, but again I forgot about this one. I have a different one which I can open the guy which I wanted to open yesterday. Hans Dampf, Michael? No, I think Klaus was his name. Yeah, Klaus. Here's Klaus. I hope so. Let me check. Yeah, this is the Klaus. It's a side project. Not every project is meant to be finished. Sometimes I just want to know how I would go about like poly stuff, you know. And here I have had some game engines in mind, and I thought maybe I could use him to make a pixel animation for, you know, like this screen here. This is new, it's from yesterday. Yeah, something like that. It's already an older project. I think I would go about, yeah. Here I think I tried to be low poly. That's what I think. Yeah, we can actually also make him naked. So it's a good little warrior. I think this one is already baked. Here I did try some bake tests. And he doesn't have arms so far. But this is the guy I actually wanted to do. I think here I used I just texture painted, I think. Yeah, I texture painted this guy here. Let's see, yeah. I can give him something like a warrior thing. Oops, no. Like so. Yep. And the good thing about this is when you do it with the low poly stuff, you can really use like texture paint, like so. You know? What I mean is it's very fast. It's very, very fast. But it's actually even better to make a sculpt the figure first. This is not sculpted. This guy I just made, I think, with let me go over that. There's a different technique for that one, which is yeah, this is basically how I started. So here's this is also a thing, you know. Oh, look at this. I like this. Yeah. So this is how I started, and what you could do is actually you can also, I mean, in Blender there's so many ways to approach stuff, but this is also a great approach to turn this one into a dense object, meaning you know, but let's just create that together quickly. So so you can see the process of it maybe, and I like to share those things. The reason, you know, I always think like I have a reason to explain why I'm not uploading this to the Blender channel. The reason is simple. I can only maintain one quality channel. I can have fun with one channel, and the other one I put my effort in. I cannot do this for both. That's the reason. And this one I just want to enjoy myself. And so dissolve, collapse. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Just let me check. Let's create the legs here. That would be the hip. It's actually even better if you have the right now I'm using here PopOS, and Blender is not completely set up. So here we go. That would be kind of the guy so far. Let's now use a mirror modifier. So now we have this guy. I'm gonna back up this one already. Yep. So here we go, and here we go. Now let's give him some 3D structure called skin. When you have a 3D structure and you use skin, there's a high chance and you will crash Blender. And now subdivision 2 times, just for now. And for some reason this doesn't really work as intended. Maybe it has to do with, let me check. Why did I do that? Huh? Why did this happen? I don't know. Let's turn it off. Those points I've talked earlier, they should be. I don't know why they jump back. That's weird. But anyway, whatever. Done. So here's our guy. So he's a really beautiful guy. So here we go. That looks better. So now I can form him quickly. So that would be the proportions, or like kinda. Maybe I don't need this guy in the middle. Limit dissolve. No. Dissolve vertex. No, I need that guy. Also, usually this goes a little bit like so. You know, that's something you don't pay attention to it when you just start out with those things. So then this one. Let's give him his belly back. a bit. This method is never perfect. You see there's a little bit of problems going on. So I'm gonna just, and this might be not too bad for now. But it's also not too bad if it doesn't have to be perfect if I wanna go over that and sculpt that guy later. Let me just, so get this guy. I'm gonna save this guy for a second. Then desktop. Just gonna call him guy. And at this point in time, I can go both ways, either sculpting or not. I just say this is a good method to get the proportions. I mean, the proportions aren't correct because I didn't follow any human, but proportions matter depending on what you wanna have at the end. Just duplicating this guy. So now I can turn this on, just apply everything. This is a good guy now. And now we could actually sculpt this one. Go to sculpting, like so. And now we could turn also this one here, does it work? Yeah. And now we could go over to this one and just, form this one further, but it's not ready yet. We need to decrease, I don't know the value. I'm not doing this too often. I have to give him more density. I'd say remesh. I increase the density. You see, this is not enough density. So remesh does basically what it says. So I can, when I say remesh and I decrease the value here, it will add more points to the whole thing. And for that you need, in order to sculpt, well, you need a lot of density. So maybe even a little bit more, maybe like that. So let's check this out. Yeah, this is pretty dense, and now I can give him everything he needs. For example, the mouth, right? So although ears I wouldn't do, just what helps me personally to get, I mean, it'll take a while until it's getting prettier, no? But what it helps me, if always when I put eyes first into that, hold on. Okay, so now okay, make a skeleton actually. So, I think, you know, I pick up a lot. I think the nose is something which dissolves completely when you become a skeleton. So I don't know. Let's just do something quick. Again, for that, when you want to do human stuff, then you have to look up something, because there's a lot of things you would miss. But let's just go with fantasy. It's easier. It's also more fun for me. Let's say this is a weird creature. Whatever. So you can see the principle. It's a monster. And then you would smooth it a bit. Always correct. Yeah. And slowly but surely this guy could become something, right? So sculpting is also, I'm not a sculptor in the real world, but I already know they would probably say, of course, that's easier because you have the mirror mode. And I think, I don't know, because I never sculpted anything, but I would think that's the case. So, and then the most difficult part are the hands, I think. But I have found a good method meanwhile how to do that. And he needs a popo. The oshiri is very important. And other features too. So I'm sure I have all the ladies, obviously I have them. And you know, I think if I would do that, I get more attention. We can make a lady, it's not a problem. Let's make a lady here. Here we go. Let's make an alien lady so I'm safe on YouTube. Yeah, buddy. Here we go, see? I know, it's maybe not the nicest one, but okay. The biggest difference between female and male body structure are they have strong legs. They need that for carrying the akachan. But this looks very muscular. I mean, for alien, is it good, you know? But again, this stuff like this takes time. You cannot expect a rough shape is already good when we have, you know. Okay, maybe here a little bit. Hands I would just leave. I would use my hand template I made. Basically, I made a hand template by using in Blender there is in Blender there is like an add-on coming with Blender. You have to activate it, I think, which you can. It's called human amateur, and it comes with hands, and you can use it as a template to follow with sculpting or with modeling the hands, which was very helpful. It was a success actually. So now I have to, not this one. maybe not smooth. Sometimes it's helpful to remesh this again. There will be some errors will occur when you sculpt that, and then you have to remesh. Okay. Yeah, like so. Like so. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how you would approach that. It would take a long time until this works. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, this is one method. Maybe I'm going to show you another one. I'm going to pause here for a second. Okay, let's continue a bit. I honestly just had to check the recording because I have some problems with my eyes, right? Since a while, and I just saw like a flash, and I'm a little bit sensitive about flashes because of eye floaters. I have them since a year, and I'm okay with that. I have actually tomorrow an appointment for that. So far it's stable, that's the best thing, but I just had to check. I saw a flash, and it is actually, the flash is in the recording, so that's good. That's good. Yeah, anyway, so this is basically, hold on. Okay, so appointments. Anyway, so here we go. That is how you would go about this. It's a weird alien. But for an alien, so that's the first thing. I mean, that's not. Here we go. I think this one. It's not. It's a pregnant woman. That's okay. Here, this is not how it would be. I'm an expert when it comes to alien female. That's for sure. I know everything about snuggle people. Yeah, a little bit more, and then I have to prepare something else. See, and this is an advantage. On the one hand, I'm an all-rounder. The disadvantage is that I distract myself a lot. Where's the other feet thing here? This guy here. Fix the arms a bit. What you also need for bone structure, you have to emphasize that first. For example, here some bone structures. I mean, this guy is a little bit, she's figure, but if you want to have a thin woman, then you need to overemphasize it first. And then to smooth it down again, that actually helps. That's an awful thing here. Let's give her some alien things, at least some kind of a hair structure here. There we go. So. Let's say the mouth would be here. That's also something I realized when I did stuff like this a little bit more. So I never paid attention to that, but it was always weird to me that females have a wider kin than male usually. You know, that's if you want to do a female face, kinda. They always here a little bit wider. Cheekbones also. It's not quite me. So. Yeah. No, but I mean, if I wanna, you know, grab the attention, I would just model attractive one. Then I'm getting the gamers for sure. I have no doubt about that. That's actually not. This is too. Here would be the. Awful creatures of her. But she has potential. The more you work on, the it always, it starts always weird. Okay, let's remesh. Fixing her a bit. Again, this is important. Details there, details gone. And inside is not good. with thin women you have more details. Also you can put a little bit of muscles, you know, but also not overdoing it onto the stomach. That's also more interesting. And it's easier to make bigger people or fat people. It doesn't, you know, let's not be too politically correct. And I have nothing against that. Like, I mean, I don't want to be politically correct, but I understand you know, I had a time when I'm thin, but I had a time when I was getting bigger easily when I was young, and they gave me some medication, and then you just crave much more and you move much less, and it's easily changing habits. So you can, I understand that, and I don't really give a shit, you know. So you can be thin and unhealthy and big and healthy, but obviously too thick is not good. Too big is not good. If you go up the stairs and you have to breathe, that's a moment where you should do something about this. When you're until 30 years old, it's not a problem, but then you have to do something about that if you wanna make sure you know, you need to give your heart I don't know, some help. Yeah, this is also something that is, the head is a little bit too small maybe, but also it's not in the right position. Again, proportions are kind of important. So where is this thing here? It's too much. Yeah, I found it easier to make a thin person first and then just make it bigger. That's something that's easier. Or in general, have a template for that. So we need a waist also a little bit. Oh, that's good. That is good. That's getting better here. That is getting better. Shiri is important. Okay, let's save this in between. Ah, isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely? So. But I also have to think a bit. I mean, I don't want to give her hands actually, because I would like to use the template hands. I mean, I didn't actually meant, you know, that I didn't want, this is just happening here. The mirror modifier makes this sometimes a little bit tricky here. We have to go deep inside. I apologize, but this is no, I don't apologize. That's what it is. Yeah. Squeeze it better. Deep inside our shiri. I think I know what is wrong with her face a bit. I mean, she is a bigger figure, so she needs more facial mass, I think. It's a good fit for my son, Hans Dampf. Or shall I call him in the Polish language? Hans Dampf. It's a name I've heard so. When I was still smoking, there was a time when I from smoking jumped to the vapor thing, you know, the other thing, which I also quit it a long time ago, since I think 10 years meanwhile, not like completely gone from smoking, which is good for the voice, but I still miss it once in a while. I still miss it. But while I was changing tabak to this vapor thing, you know, I watched some videos on it because I was curious about those things. And there it occurred to me, somebody said Hans Dampf. And I thought, what a name. What a name. Even in the German language, this is such a weird name. Just stuck with me. Hans Dampf. So weird. So I don't like her face. Let's give her a nose, huh? Come on. Let's make her cute. Yeah. Hola. Let me make it here. She needs more of that. That's what it is. Check my own arm, so a bit, this goes here, small then, okay. So also with the breasts, the sides are also important if you want to do bigger breasts. It's not always just going in this way, the sides also matter. Here we go. strong. I mean, here's actually a mistake right now to do that, because how do I say that? It's better to leave her bald and give her later hair extra, but whatever, it's now I'm doing it anyway, so whatever. But it's gonna be harder later on to get rid of this again. And actually this shouldn't be hair. Let's give her the alien structure again. And we have to remesh here. See, there's a little artifact, you know. It tells me I have to remesh that. Recalculate the whole mesh and then smooth it again. Yeah. Now the facial features. So let's make this one here. I don't know the English term, but the Wangenknochen women have usually more of that here. Again, it's not a woman per se, but per se, oh, this is an awful word. I think South Park taught me that once. Which always drastically helps when I put eyes in. That helps me a lot actually. Until this point, because the proportions might look okay, but I never really see that very well. So now let's give her some alien structure here. Those people in Baldur's Gate, I really don't like them. In Baldur's Gate 3. The reason for that is, to me, I'm an old school in this regard. To me, demons are demons. They don't bother with social constructs. And in Baldur's Gate 3, those kind of demons, they kind of look like that. They are too human. That's not a demon. A demon is very nasty. A demon can manipulate you, can deceive you, but it will not bother with human emotions. That's, to me, it's not a demon. But it's a fantasy, so everybody can think what they want to think about that, you know. But this is, I really don't like that in Baldur's Gate. It's just kind of like I look at them and think, and they are so whiny also, so weird. So this is not a demon, you know. A demon is same thing with there's this popular series. My mom loves it. It's called Lucifer. You may like it, right? I don't. To me, this guy is too weak. The real Lucifer, if this guy exists, and now let's not go into that, but let's just say, he would be so. A new word I learned: mischief. I forgot this. Deceiving, but a different word. Disingenuous, but very deceiving actually. And he would be very powerful in doing so. He wouldn't be afraid at all. He would not whiny or anything. He would be very self-confident, but also very attractive if he wants to. Or let's put it simpler. An awesome devil, like somebody you really believe is one of the best versions I've ever seen, was in a movie with Keanu Reeves. I don't remember the title, but there's a Keanu Reeves movie where he plays what's the title again? You may know there is this guy. It's on the tip of my tongue. The devil himself calls himself Lou, or no, he is calling him Lou, which I think is great. It's just great. And this guy is an awesome example of a real devil. You don't wanna, I mean, but you can like Lucifer. My mom loves it. It's just, she likes the guy. She likes to watch the series, and that's fine. But it's to me, it's not working. To me, Lucifer is a very badass, very capable, never whiny. And the same thing with demons. Demons don't whine. They if they want to kill you, they will kill you until you know. They will laugh at you even if they only have if you can dismantle the head of a demon. They will keep laughing. They will not complain. That's a demon. They don't have human emotions. They don't care. They laugh at you. So anyway, I'm still thinking about the name. Keanu Reeves. Crap. What was the name? Something with C, I think. Constantine, yeah, that was a great movie. And the devil was very well done. Very good devil. There's another good devil version, which like a film like that, where I think the devil is presented very well. I don't remember the title again. But it plays in an elevator. Very good one. Very good movie. That you see very often in men. They have like a big belly and then thin legs. That's a man thing. Not everybody, my brother. He's built different to me. You know, we are similar but not structured. But we share the most important thing, which is the humor. And he's bigger, but he's not, you know, he's not too big, and he's not. He's very healthy and strong, and he's also a father, and he needs that, you know, some extra energy, you know, and he's a great father. So, yeah, whiny demons, eh? This is how we start. That's the thing, you know. When you spend more time, you have to spend more time. It looks already good. I mean, it depends. I assume when I stick, I'm a rounder. That means I always lose some abilities when I don't work on it, or when I do something else. When I do a car, then, you know. But I cannot help myself. I cannot just do one thing. This is just not my nature. Let's use this guy here. Oh yeah, let's make the belly also while we are at this bit. What am I doing here? Mm-hmm. Okay. I think the rib cage would be like here somewhere. I'm not trying to make them bigger, only rounder right now. And about those different tools I'm not using them in an understanding way. There are some people who are using them. To me, you see, mostly I'm using this guy. This makes everything smooth. You just try it out. You don't try to understand them, just trying it out, and then intuitively you pick something. That's when you do it for a while, you get this intuitive idea. And everybody can do that. Believe me, I'm around that. That means I can do a lot of shit. None of those things perfectly, but I can do a bunch of stuff. And if I can do that, you can do that too. And this is actually easier than even making a picture for me in GIMP, for example. But this depends on how much time you spend somewhere. So if I just would do sculpting, I would get better with sculpting, right? And so on. And I can, but again, my problem is really that it's not a problem, it's just my nature that I distract myself very often. So also say it would be good to find a buddy. I keep saying that now a bit because I'm looking for someone, a buddy who has the same interest, Blender interest, I mean, or who wants to do projects together. Doesn't matter female or male. If I would find a good fit, ideally it should be somebody who would share the same humor, working together on projects, because I'm actually getting tired of doing that all by myself. It's time consuming and you have no one to talk about that. Sure, you can talk with other people, and to a certain degree they will listen, but they will not understand, and it's easier to talk to someone who shares the same interest. I think remeshing is time soon. Okay, yeah, she starts to look better than at the beginning, huh? You know what? I need a name for this guy. Maybe I'm gonna continue working on it. I'm leaving it up to you. If you wanna name it, I'm gonna give you a week. After that, I'm gonna name it. After publishing it. But if it's obviously a stupid name, I'm not accepting that, you know. If you call it, I don't know, like, you suck, you know, then no, of course I wouldn't do that. But so far, my audience is very nice because I don't have one. No, the people who are communicating with me so far, they all have been nice. By the way, I read your recent comments, especially when they're nice. I'm not replying, I keep saying that, but there's a high chance you don't know that. I'm not replying to comments right now because I don't want to kiss your ass. I don't want to get the feeling that I have to reply so that you stick around. I had this for a while and I figured I don't want to do that actually. But this doesn't mean I don't like getting comments. I don't consider them. I do. I read them. I do consider them. If you have any suggestions or want to see a game, let me know. Making a completely playthrough is unlikely that I do, but checking games out, maybe I have it already. I'm not against it. There is a good thing about getting older. You can see that, you know, in my own structure a bit. The older you get, the more you see how you actually build. And you can see how things fall apart also. That's also good. Getting older is good for art. It's also more interesting. A smooth face is pretty, but it's boring. It's a boring thing. And maybe we're gonna add something like that later when this is more you know. Yeah, we need the nibble also. Now it's nudity. I hope I'm not getting in trouble here, but I think I should be covered with the artist freedom, you know. That's also a good thing. You can, if you Yeah, if you want to show nudity, become an artist. Have a great excuse. That's the language. It means hello viewer. Yeah, this took me a while to understand that logically. To me, females were always. This is weird to me that this is because I never paid attention, like looking directly, like looking artistically on that, how to make stuff. Because to me, females were already built more fragile like men, and so I thought while I was doing this, oh, actually the kin is actually stronger built than males, which is weird. But that's what it is, I think. But I'm self-taught. I don't know much about things in terms of professional stuff. But that's just stuff I observed, discovered when I do stuff like that. Also, it was also a weird thing to me that that when they get angry, they get some horns. Good. By the way, I also think about comments, maybe starting that soon. While I'm not responding directly to comments, I think reading them once a month is good. And then you can also make the suggestions or something. And also then when I write stuff. But anyway, I'm not expecting much, it's like I'm used to that. But it's also, it's not complaining. It's like I have the segment, I do what I do. People don't know what I'm trying there, and I'm not blaming you, but I'm a little bit stubborn about that. I want to do things a little bit in my way. Not basically YouTube is everything is a mouth fat, and this annoys me, a bit. Like everything is so perfectly smooth in YouTube, and this is I rebel a little bit with my segment. I do what I do. I like that, but I cannot complain that people don't want to check this out, because honestly I wouldn't either. I'm also too spoiled. I just wanna, I have also expectations on stuff. But anyway, not that it really matters anyways. So while I made some fast progress so far, I think what can happen is that you redo the mouth area especially very often, because mouth is also difficult. Sometimes I'm not happy and then I do it again and do it again and do it again until I get what I want. So this can then, this looks pretty fast, right? How much time? An hour approximately if I disregard the beginning. Looks fast, but eventually you will spend, this needs a lot of time to become really good, you know? This is not just I'm just want to say that in case you think, oh, this is pretty fast, it's actually not. This will need, the more details you add, it can easily get like a game hours, like a role-playing game hours, you know. But I also don't like to really count things because it doesn't make sense. Sometimes you work on stuff, sometimes you don't, you know, then you stop working on things. Sometimes you abandon projects, you forget about them, and then sometimes you continue on them. But I think with her, I'm pretty happy so far. It's a little bit too strong. But let's go into an orc direction. Like a World of Warcraft one. Maybe if we want to add muscles. I think before I touch the feet and stuff, I should make a duplication of this gun. Of this guy I wanted to say. So women are usually more built like that, while men are usually have wider shoulders, but this is an alien version, so It's like an alien. To me, I have this little bit of orcish right now in mind. I also find eye stuff is also very difficult for me. It's just where the eyeballs go inside. So I'm simply not experienced enough. With whenever it gets more like fantasy, no problem, right? But whenever it gets a little bit more humanized, then there are more difficulties. But that's to me always okay, because it's also a little bit of my strength. Whenever I try to actually do something realistic, it doesn't really. And I'm stronger with fantasy. Sometimes. I mean, the car was pretty good. It looks more like a realistic one. But it definitely counts right now for when I draw something. I don't know. If she doesn't listen to me, then I don't know who does. I mean, with her ears right now, she will listen. But I think I need more details. I like a tensor version of this one. Hitoi. Not good. Nah, beautiful. Apologize, my lady. it's too... Looks like a man again. Luckily, I don't like the ear so much. I can just reload that. Maybe not this one. Maybe let's try to recover autosave. What time is it? Oh no, this is an hour ago. Okay, well now we have the ears. I'm gonna get rid of the ears a bit. I don't like the ears so much. I don't like them. Let's get rid of them. Because with the face I was... Yeah. That's good to make backups sometimes. Maybe the size hole is just a big for... The ears are just a big... remesh. Remesh. Maybe this one here. No. Yeah, many. Yeah, remesh you have to do often if you... Yeah, maybe adding those things again like years later separately is also a technique you can use to not screw with the main thing. So okay. So, Yeah, okay, I think I'm taking a break soon. About this figure, it's not clear, you know, I may stop working on it because I have the other project here. But this also depends if there's an interest. Maybe I'm gonna continue working on it a bit. Not to say that I, you know, if I feel like it, I will work on it, no matter what. But I have, you know, as you may know, lots of projects, and the Black Raven wallpaper needs also some time. But what you can do again, you can name it. I give you 1 week after publishing, only 1 week, because I need to name those guys anyways, to organize them. And it's probably not enough to actually, there's a high chance that you will not see the video in time. But if you can, the first comment, can name it. And then I'm gonna save for the project file will be saved like that. Until that, I will leave it on my desktop for a week, and then yeah, okay. Again, needs a lot of work. Hands are not done. Feet are very difficult. Hands are very difficult. A fun thing I want to show before I end this, I'm gonna save here again. Is how do I do this again? Here maybe. Textures, yeah, here. This is, let's make a new texture. You can use interesting textures to make the skin, for example, as a 3D thing. Not with smooth, with this one here. Doesn't work. So now it's smaller, see? This is how we can make it later on more alien-like. It's more reptilian. You see? There would be an option, but I don't know if I want to go for that. And then when this is done, something I've never did, like for real, I was tried a little bit, is re-topology to make the game assets, but I don't think that would be possible timing wise, because other projects would suffer. So maybe just making this model and that's about it, like the other guy, like Hans Dampf. Yeah. Okay, saying this again in the end, by the way, you have here a bunch of, check out this one here. That would be worth your time actually on Project Lara. It's called Black Raven on Project Lara Blender channel. You find the other channel on this channel. This you saw already. Did you see that? Some overlays. I mean, we'll make overlays for the future, putting them on a website, making more and more of them, and yeah, at some point. Yeah. Also on my Project Lara Blender channel, you can see how to make videos like that. I'm showing the principle of those kind of things. This is more pixelated. I showed it already yesterday, but people are missing it out, so I'm gonna show it like here again. This guy. So again, you have 1 week to name the creature if you want. The sun is not actually, the sun needs optimization. This one, another one. Gamepad. You can see me modeling a gamepad also. Good. The newest thing is this one here. I like this guy. Okay, good. That's about it. I'm gonna save this now. Again, I'm saying it again because you may people just jump to the end, right? I'm giving you 1 week to name the creature, this beautiful woman here. Let's just hide this one here for now. You can name her. You have 1 week for that after publishing it. After 1 week, I will just name it myself. Okay. Maybe we continue on it, maybe not. We'll see. Bye bye.